From the World Wrestling Federation, it's Tuesday Night Titans with your host, Vince McMahon. This is Lord Alfred Hayes inviting you to join Vince and his special guests, Captain Lou Albano, the Wild Samoans, Afa and Sika, the Intercontinental Champion, Tito Santana, and a special feature on Dr.D, David Schultz. And now, here is your host, Vince McMahon.
Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday Night Titans. Indeed, this is a most unusual treatment of the World Wrestling Federation. This show perhaps possessing potential greatness from a number of standpoints which we will speak of momentarily. But right now we would like to introduce to you one of the potential moments of greatness. Perhaps it's Britain's answer to E01, my co-host, indeed, Lord Alfred Hayes.
I don't know whether I like that comparison or not. What has happened to E01?
Well, I'm not quite certain what's happened to E01. Obviously, however, perhaps one of his proteges, maybe two of them here with us, Afa and Sika, the Samoans.
Wild men, absolutely wild. I wonder what they have in mind for us. But let's get to somebody like Tito Santana.
Tito Santana to join us is no doubt one of the true heartthrobs in the entertainment and the sports world today. Notwithstanding that, of course, we look forward to Captain Louis Albano. We'll be back to begin TNT with a bang. As we promised you when we returned, we were going to give Tuesday Night Titan a big bang indeed. We're just about ready to do that and join a match in progress that will see Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, squaring off against B. Brian Blair, an extraordinary match. And Lord, I think you would concur with that.
Oh, I've got to. Did you see the way that Mr. Wonderful, the pose he adopted as he entered the ring? He said, "This ring is mine, this young man opposite me is mine, everybody is mine, even the world title."
Well, there's no doubt that Paul Orndorff exudes arrogance. I'm sure you'd concur with that. And this match was no different than the usual match with Paul Orndorff in that he walked to the ring, if you'll recall, with the long flowing robes and what have you, and I'm sure had a few words choice, no doubt, of wisdom for the fans about ringside as they did about Mr. Wonderful's entrance into the ring. But then from there, the action really got underway. And I think Orndorff was shocked by the extraordinary skills of B. Brian Blair.
I think what has happened in the past with Orndorff is he has used this as a ploy, a high psychological ploy to put his opponents completely ill at ease. He didn't faze Brian Blair one iota. Do you think that's possibly because Blair comes from the same town, has done his homework on Paul Orndorff, knows about him, and said, "You are not going to fool me"?
Rather ironic that both individuals would indeed hail from Tampa, Florida. However, I feel that there's been a difference. Their careers have paralleled somewhat, but Mr. Blair, quite frankly, in my view, has not quite had the breaks as Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff has.
That's difficult to say. If Brian Blair's wins had been, say, a little more conclusive, a little more bite to them, I think maybe he would have got those breaks.
All right, well, let's go now to the videotape. We will join the matchup in progress, Blair and Orndorff.
Made a counting of himself. Hair pull from our vantage point. Whip to the ropes. Nice drop toe hold. Nicely done. Oh, but look, what a reversal. What a reversal by Blair. Back on top now. Shoulders look down from our vantage point, only one. Look at Orndorff raising a left shoulder.
Well, in all due respect, the referee is right on top of it. Right on top of it.
They're wrapped up like an octopus in there at the moment. Blair better keep his shot. Uh-oh. Blair still hanging on. Blair in the standing position. Adding a little more pressure. Back to the standing position now and to the rope. Nice shoulder block. Blair over. Orndorff right back at him. Oh, no.
Oh! Oh! He was airborne.
Orndorff really favoring his left arm and shoulder.
Blair was airborne.
6, 7. Unfortunately for Blair. 9. Wait a minute, let's stay with it now. Orndorff attacking Blair. Knocked out again. Let's go back, take a look at what we saw moments ago. Paul Orndorff now. Here we go.
Look at this.
Blair now is going to hurl himself over and look, sidestepping Blair and a whip right to the ropes out on the concrete floor. He went sailing out of there. Back to live action. Orndorff getting more life in the left arm and shoulder. Orndorff with momentum. Blair now back out on the apron. Orndorff. Orndorff blowing deep line Blair into the retaining. Now back out. Oh no, not on the concrete floor. Oh no!
Look at the convulsing body of B. Brian Blair. Call that Mr. Wonderful. Oh!
Blair appeared as though he had been dropped face first, or maybe throat first. Out on the gate. Oh, this is turning into a real Donnybrook here.
This is nothing short of a street fight, a back alley brawl.
Paul Orndorff with Blair still out on the apron, spins him over backwards. Oh, you can hear the smack of the flesh across the chest. Oh, a kick to the side of the head and the back of the head. But look at Blair. Surprisingly, you would think that Blair would be totally out on it. Give this young man extraordinary credit. Look at Orndorff gesturing for him to come into the ring. Shoulder block by Blair. Goes over. Pushing. Oh, trying to hold him to the rope. Orndorff trying to hold him to the rope. One. Oh. My goodness. For a moment, it appeared that B. Blair was going to pin Paul Orndorff. No, through the ropes again. Well, look at Paul Orndorff strutting his stuff in extraordinary physique. Where did Blair go? Blair is on the outside, the opposite side of the ring. Blair is sneaking up behind Paul Orndorff. Blair coming up behind Orndorff. Taps him on the shoulder. Oh, my Lord. Another one. Oh, the grab kick for Blair. Blair with tremendous momentum.
Where does he
Gets
get
him
it from?
down. Orndorff in a most compromising position.
Oh, my word! I cannot believe the comeback on the part of Blair.
Tremendous slam by Blair. Setting up Orndorff. Drops the knee on him. Go for the cover.
This is phenomenal.
Orndorff. Unbelievable resiliency on his part as well. Knee lift by Orndorff. Seesaw battle. Nip and tuck all the way. Another knee lift by Orndorff. Blair scooped up. No, behind him now. Hooks the hip. Gets him off. That's going to be it. That's going to do it. One. We get two. Oh, no. We get one. He's pulling it tight.
Oh, tremendously controversial decision based on the fact that I think we're going to see in a second or two here.
Listen to the ready to go at it. The referee saw one thing. Let's get the official word, after which we'll take a look at a replay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
Blair is livid.
Well, justifiably so. Paul Orndorff gets the Duke. Let's go back and take a look at what we saw just moments ago now. All right, here. Over goes Orndorff early. There. Look, yes, definitely. It's not the momentum of Orndorff keeping the shoulders down. Orndorff rocking back, and he's pulling up on the tights as hard as he can. Unfortunately, a very controversial decision. Paul Orndorff gets the Duke.
Indeed, one of the great matches typifying the action in the World Wrestling Federation. I wonder, Alfred, if you feel that Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff lived up to his moniker.
Oh, yes, he did indeed. One mistake Brian Blair made was right at the end, and that was only inexperience. What a future this boy has got. But right now, I would say the world revolves around Mr. Wonderful.
Well, indeed, I wonder if B. Brian Blair would look forward to a potential rematch.
Oh, he wouldn't turn that down for anything in the world, because I think there were times in that match when he definitely thought he had Mr. Wonderful in his pocket. Quite honestly, I thought he did too.
What about the controversial nature of the ending of that matchup? It seems to me that Mr. Blair was pulling the tights of Paul Orndorff as they rolled over, and then from there, of course, in the end, I guess maybe somewhat of a bit of poetic justice.
You know, one thing about professional wrestling is it's a man's world. And you're going to have to accept decisions like that and just grin and bear them if you're stupid enough to allow that ploy to be pulled upon you.
Well, no doubt we have seen Dr. D, David Schultz, make a few house calls in his career. When we return, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be making a house call with Dr. D, David Schultz. In a moment, we'll be making house calls with Dr. D, David Schultz. He's made a few in his day in the world of pro wrestling, no doubt of that. Quite an arrogant sort of individual. Would you concur with that, Lord Alfred Hayes?
Let me say this about Dr. D, David Schultz. Firstly, he speaks funny. That accent of his is somewhat amusing, but the message is deadly. This man is a bully inside and outside of the ring.
You honestly believe that he talks funny?
He certainly speaks with a most peculiar accent.
Well, no doubt Dr. D, David Schultz from Nashville, Tennessee, and, well, let's see if you believe that he talks funny. He certainly means everything that he says. With that in mind, let's go now to the special interview with Dr. D.
A man who has wreaked havoc and devastation on opponent after opponent ever since his arrival in the World Wrestling Federation is the veteran from Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA, I don't mind telling you, Dr. David Schultz.
You know what everybody strives for in life? Everybody strives to be number one. Everybody strives to get their picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone, baby. Well, I know a lot of people that get stoned and roll around and roll stoned. You know what I'm saying? But I'm there, right here, baby. I am there. I am on the cover. I have made it. I am number one. Nobody's there but me. Now, get your hands off. You can have it. You can keep it. I'll autograph it for you later on. Now, I got one thing to say. I'm still looking for a fight. I'm still looking for a man. I don't care how big you are, how tall you are, how small you are, how weak you are. I don't care what kind of language you speak. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what color your skin is. All I want is somebody to come in and fight the doctor. Give me a decent fight. Give me some pain. Give me some competition. Give me somebody that might stand up to me. You know, all through life, baby. I'm the guy that went to school with you people out there when you was growing up. They took your lunch money from you. I'm the bully in the classroom that wanted to fight. I'm the man that stood out on the playground and whooped all the kids because I like to be mean. I like to be tough. I don't like nobody. I don't care about nobody but myself. If my mama stood here and talked to me bad, I'd slap her but she knows better.
My
If my wife
your
stood
own
here and
mother.
talked to me, I'd knock her head off. And one of my ladies, what do you want? You keep touching my leg. I know I don't have much time. They're going to cut me
Let me get that
off.
autograph from
yeah,
you, and
well,
we're
I'll
going to
give
get you
it to
back
you
up in the
later.
ring.
I'll
Stay
talk about
tuned.
my later.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
I think perhaps even Gene Okerlund would concur with your thoughts about Dr. D. David Schultz talking a little funny.
Yes, he said something about going to school. Where was that?
I think we'd have to perhaps ask Dr. D himself. However, what we will not ask him is indeed just how well the man can wrestle. I think that'll be obvious when we take you to videotape footage and show this matchup in progress. A young man hoping to knock Dr. D. David Schultz off his pedestal at the moment.
Young Travis. Didn't I tell you he was a bully? He bullied his own mother.
Let's go to see if he can bully now his opponent, Mr. Travis, in the matchup, and we will join this in progress. Dr. D. David Schultz in action.
Trying to pull Schultz off the rope, and Schultz just hooks the rope. Travis would have to have pulled Schultz in the ring itself. There you see the forearm. That's perfectly legal. Another one.
You notice, though, Vince, he's grabbing a hair of Billy Travis and then applying either an elbow or a forearm, so it's double trouble.
Travis. Super! Oh, my goodness.
The body of Travis convulsing.
I guess.
That hammer certainly took its toll on Billy Travis.
I wonder his body's still intact.
I don't know if he can come back from something that devastating. Be a miracle if he could.
Oh! Oh, my! And Billy Travis out on the concrete floor, knocked through the ropes by big Dr. D.
Billy Travis in deep, deep trouble. Right now, Schultz and the referee. Play a little verbal altercation. Apparently, Schultz not agreeing with some of the demands of the referee at this point in time.
Travis. Oh, my, on the receiving end of another forearm to the chest area. Referee backs the big boy from Nashville, Tennessee, back off a moment ago, and Dr. D is right on top of Travis again. Uh-oh. Travis yanked into the ring, suplexed, and Schultz is showing very little, if any, mercy whatsoever.
He is totally dominating Billy Travis. He has from the sound of the bell, from the moment.
Oh! Blatant clenched fist. Just slapped the fist into the face of Billy Travis.
I don't know if he's saying I'm sorry or not.
A lunge and sort of a roundhouse right did not have much effect on Dr. D. David Schultz. Off the rope, Travis, drop kick by Schultz.
Well, that right boot really hit Travis flush in the chin, and it just absolutely rocked into the canvas. Look at this. Did you hear that?
He's holding on. Give me a break.
He's holding my foot. Where does Schultz get off trying to sell that package?
And a whip to the buckle. And Billy Travis has really been on the receiving end all the way through this matchup.
He has not mounted any kind of an offensive thus far in this bout.
Oh, my. Look at his head. Snap back off. The corner pad. Dr. D
may have opened him up. I don't know if young Travis was opened up by that slam into the buckle.
Another devastating maneuver by Dr. D. David Schultz.
Schultz even going so far as to wear that diamond earring during the course of a match. I can't believe it.
To the canvas to slam Dr. D now. Over in the corner. We've seen this many times before.
Oh, no.
Schultz on the second row.
No.
Travis is out of it. Schultz pointing at it. Spins in midair and hammers the elbow moments ago to the chest. And that is all she wrote for young Billy Travis, who no doubt this week was taught a wrestling lesson Dr. D. David Schultz style.
Same thing's gonna happen to Hogan when I get a hold of him.
Did you hear
Same
that?
thing.
I don't know. It would be most interesting. Let's get the official time.
And there is the winner, Dr.D. David Schultz.
So, the good doctor once again chalks up another impressive victory as we go back now, Gene, and take a look.
Impressive to say the least, because from start to finish, Schultz totally dominated the less experienced Billy Travis. Here's the coup de grace. As you see, Dr. Schultz line up Travis off that second rope through the air. Oh, wow! And it's all over. It was just a matter of time.
On occasion, we've seen Schultz move the elbow up instead of the sternum area, where obviously could crush the sternum or a rib for that matter. Dr. D. David Schultz, on occasion, has been known to, allegedly at least, intentionally bring the elbow up.
Well, we have seen Dr. D. David Schultz in action, and I'm sure you would say that he's quite impressive. We have seen also and heard the comments of Dr. D. David Schultz as far as his plans are concerned in professional wrestling and where he indeed intends to go. Well, right now, we would like to take you on a journey in our own right. The Tuesday night Titan cameras will take you to Nashville, Tennessee, and we will join Dr. D. David Schultz with his family at his residence. Let's go to the videotape. That was not the voice of Dr. D. David Schultz, indeed, no. But a moment from now, we will hear the voice of Dr. D. David Schultz inviting us in to his home in Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, hello. Yeah, y'all come on in here. Y'all come on in. How y'all doing today? Kids, come on. Y'all get back in here in the living room. Got the TV station coming in here. Yeah, y'all just come on in and bring it. Hey, woman, come on in here. Yeah, this TV station, they're going to do a special on me. They want to see just how the doctor really is when he's at home. Well, yeah, y'all. Cameras, just give me a little room, okay?
Okay, how's that?
Yeah. I'm glad y'all can make it out here today, because everybody, is always talking about Dr. D, how crazy he is. And when y'all come to me, you boys better shut up over there now, hold it down. And I mean it too. You got any manners? Well, what's wrong with them kids? I'm going a lot. I'm going a whole lot. But when I get home, anyway, y'all are here to eat supper. We're getting back on that subject now. You're here to eat supper. Is supper ready?
Just about, David.
Just about. Didn't I tell you they was coming? They'd be here?
No, you didn't.
Are you calling me a liar? You wouldn't do that.
No.
You better not ever do it.
No.
Go in there and get dinner ready. Boy, I'll tell you. Oh, see, they just, people just take advantage of you, man. You try to be nice to people, You boys, I done told you now, get on out of here. Come on. Come on.
Come on, boys.
Get out of here.
Supper. Let's go.
Go play with the dog or something. Don't come back in either until I holler for you. Well, maybe we can get something done. It's hard to let people come into my home because it's private. And as you people know, I don't like many people at all. Everybody's saying that I'm crazy, everybody's saying that I'm goofy, everybody's saying that I'm not this and not that. Well, I don't care what you say about me. I give you a chance to come into my home to see how I live outside the ring. I guess you thought I'd be just like I was on television, always screaming and hollering and hurting people and stuff like that. Well, I can't do it here. I can't do it. Not that sometime I wouldn't want to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me tell you. Sometimes I just like them. But anyway, y'all are here to say. Anyway, this house here is a very expensive house if you had it built. But the doctor's done everything that can be done. I've been all over the world. I've stayed in the finest hotels all over. I rode the Concorde and put in to go in the space shuttle. And I built this house with these mamas right here. Oh yeah, every piece of it. All by myself. Didn't have no help from nobody, didn't need nobody. That's the reason I want you people to see that I'm just like everybody else. I got a wife, I got kids. But I don't let them run over me. And this is my I guess you thought I was through talking.
Excuse me, honey. Supper's ready.
Well, okay. Get the kids in. Bring them in here. Tell them get up there and wash your hands. Y'all come on in. We'll have something to eat here. She finally got it ready. I'm sorry about the delay there.
Go wash your hands.
Y'all come on in here. Sit down. You boys get over here at the table. Sit down here. We're going to get something to eat. Y'all sit down right there. Get something to eat here. Whoa! What in the world is wrong with you, woman? You move the table out there. What do you do that for? You out of your mind? Damn, you know what those cost? What is this, the city dump? Huh? You didn't have time, you didn't have a chance. Sit down. Sit down. Get something to eat. You ain't got time to do nothing. Boy, What is this?
It's pizza, David.
I can see it's pizza. I'm not a fool. You think you married a fool?
The kids
You're
want
making a
pizza.
fool out of me, what you're doing on national TV. Hey, I'm sorry. I told the woman to have something to eat fixed here for us to eat. I don't know what's wrong with her. Get up and get us something to eat or something. Do something. Don't just sit there like a goof or something. What are you smiling at? I'll slap that smile off your face. Don't smile at me, boy. Don't you laugh either. I mean it. Well, you gonna eat or you gonna stand there and stare at it? Eat it. Eat it now. Here, eat another piece of bread. Here, you eat a piece of bread. Here, you want another one? I'm sorry, I told y'all you come over, I invite you for supper, they put this out here, this goof here. I don't know what's wrong with you. Are you plumb out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? I'm talking to you, girl.
I just was fixing a little supper for the kids.
These ain't kids, these are TV people when you're out.
I wasn't expecting them, David.
Well, I told you they was coming.
It's
Just go on, get out of here. I don't even want you out here. I shouldn't even let you come down here out of the bedroom anyway. What are you looking at? You got a problem? Get upstairs. I don't want you down here either. Boy, this is ridiculous. I ain't never seen nothing. Hey, I don't know. Anyway, like I said, I'm like you people out there, man. I got wife, I got kids, I got problems. Only thing I know how to take. What are you looking at? Hand me that tea, boy. You ain't gonna drink it. I got problems. He's got problems. Oh, boy, get up, get up, go, get upstairs. When I get through, I'm gonna get you too. Get your brother too. I'm gonna get all of y'all. Hey, I tell you, I'm just upset, man. I don't know. I'm tired. I shouldn't have invited you out here in the first place. It's a private home. Get your stuff up. Just get out, okay? Just get out. I'm tired of everything. I'm tired of the chicken and the pizza. Get out. Yeah, y'all get on out of here. What's wrong with you? You crazy? Come out here and try to make a fool out of me. Get the camera out of here. Don't ever come back. I'm sick and tired of everybody and everything. Woman!
Dr. D, David Schultz, and Dr. D with his own special house call. I'd like to get your reaction to what we just saw Lord Alfred Hayes.
I'd like to say that that was a sick person. I can't say that because I think everything he does is something for himself. It's intentional. I think what he actually does is he psychs himself up with his family, an unforgivable thing. And he does this with one purpose only, for the betterment of Dr. D. I think he really hurts his family so that he can make himself what he believes to be the greatest wrestler in the world, because he feels no pain. He said that. Mentally, I think what he does is he hurts his wife, he hurts his family, he hurts his children, he kicks his dog to make himself in such a thing. And I think that's just an awful, awful thing.
It would appear as though Dr.D. David Schultz practices the same intimidation at home as he does in the squared circle against opponents.
Well, I want to say I'm sorry for him. I can't say I'm sorry for him. He'll get his comeuppance.
Dr.D. David Schultz. However, we're going to have with us as our guest later on a totally different kind of person in Tito Santana. With us now, ladies and gentlemen, another premier athlete in the World Wrestling Federation. Indeed, some would say the premier athlete, the reigning Intercontinental Champion, joining us. Welcome to Tuesday Night Titans, Tito Santana.
Thank you, Vince, but I would like to interrupt you for a second, if I may, and make a comment of a man I saw earlier in this program, Vince. I knew Dr. David Schultz as a wrestler, but to know this man, the way he treats his family, it's beyond my imagination that somebody would treat anybody like that. His kids, his wife, he's got no respect for anybody. I'm convinced what kind of a man he is, and I don't like him.
Well, thank you for your commentary. No doubt, however, there are many differences in your career as compared and contrasted to that of Dr. D. David Schultz. One of the rather unique differences, if I can take you somewhat out of the realm of actual combat in the squared circle. In the World Wrestling Federation magazine, they covered you with a young man by the name of Chris Beavers. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take you to videotape involving Chris Beavers. Now, Chris Beavers was the winner of something known as Lunch with Your Favorite Wrestler. Chris Beavers won this contest, which, by the way, is an ongoing contest. And this young man could have chosen any professional wrestler in the world. He chose Tito Santana, and I think that gave you quite a lot of, well, no doubt, Mr. Santana, a really good feeling down deep, did it not?
Vince, that was a feeling that I have never experienced before in my life. It was great. I spent an evening with him, and we went out to the Hilton, and we had lunch. His dad was there, his uncle was there, and just to talk to this kid, we picked him up at school in a limousine, and there he was surrounded by his buddies, and his buddies didn't believe that I was going to pick him up with a limousine, and he loved it. I really enjoyed it. I know that I made his day, and I felt great. We went to his home. I met his family, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
All right, let's let all of us enjoy. Let's go to videotape now. All right, here. This is coming into the restaurant, perhaps?
That's exactly what we were doing. The limousine took us straight to the restaurant, and I got to know him and his family, and, I was as thrilled about the whole thing as he was. I really enjoyed the evening with him.
Signing autographs, no doubt. I'm sure autographs that, Lord, this young man will cherish, no doubt, forever and ever, huh?
Absolutely. What a thrill for a child. What a wonderful thing to happen. Here is the very person he watches so intently upon the screen, and suddenly that physical being is there with him. I wonder what, did he sleep the night before? Did he sleep the night after? You know what,
Tito,
children are like.
Did he share some of those thoughts with you?
Well, he just told me that I think he's sending about 50 entries, Vinny, if I'm not mistaken. and he, he's from Scranton. And he never would have imagined, because I understand there was hundreds of thousands of fan mail that came in, and he would have never imagined that he was going to get selected. And when he was named the person to go out and have dinner with me, from what I understand, he didn't sleep for several nights. He just he'd go to school and tell his friends, and his friends wouldn't believe him, and he would tell his friends, just wait, I'm going to prove it to you. It's going to happen to me. I won. And I'm going to be with Tito Santana, and I'm going to go out and have a good evening with him.
All right, now let's go to Tito Santana in a wholly different light, joining a matchup in progress against Adrian Adonis.
Good crowd, capacity crowd with this week. Yes, and they're all trying to help Santana. Many of them are. He has legions of fans here.
A little dialogue being exchanged by the referee and Adrian Adonis. Oh, look at this exchange. Adonis, hold of Santana's hair.
Picks him up now. Oh! A legal maneuver. And that will send a pain up your spine, ladies and gentlemen, like you will never, ever forget. Oh! Santana again out on concrete.
Well, this is just really incredible.
Adrian really getting himself together now.
He is not a sympathetic fan.
And some of the fans very close to ringside, having a few words about the city from which Adrian Adonis hails. Now Santana, rolling kick, nice maneuver by Santana, and again into the shoulder. Down goes Adonis.
But I don't know if it was totally fair of the fans to...
Oh, my! Oh. Adonis now. In control, Adonis. Oh, no. Snap right out. Right on the throat of Santana. And again. Chant from this capacity crowd.
That throat of Tito Santana's really took a beating on that snap on the part of Adrian Adonis when he had him hooked underneath the bottom rope.
Now, back to, look at that explosion by Santana. Oh, my, what an uppercut. And Santana down again on the canvas. Hanging on to the rope. What a matchup this has been. Unbelievable punishment. These two men will never be the same, neither one. Bulldog! Adonis bulldogging Santana to the canvas. Hooks him over. We're going to have a new champion. One. No. Come on, ref. Unfortunately for Adonis, Santana too close to the rope.
Well, I believe he had a hand, Vince, from our vantage point, virtually impossible to tell, but I believe Santana might have had a hand on the rope.
No. Santana put on the brakes. The momentum carrying Adonis all the way into the corner. Santana now hammering away on Adonis. Another. On the ride, Adrian Adonis. Oh! Woo. Oh! Santana. Now with Adonis. Rams the face. And again. Look at this.
I think they wanted a 10 count. I think these fans demanded a 10 count from Santana.
Santana risking disqualification. Nonetheless, this match really heating up a seesaw battle. Nip and tuck all the way. Damage inflicted both from Adonis and Santana. They both will remember this match for a long, long time to come. Into the buckle, Santana. And again.
Really?
Oh, look at this. Going up to the top rope.
Hold on.
Adrian Adonis. Adonis now is going to lunge. He backs off. Forget it.
He'll be singing with the Bee Gees after that one. What is this?
Santana outside Adonis. And now it's Adonis into the timekeeper's table.
Absolute bedlam and pandemonium. The bell has sounded.
Santana going after Adonis.
Santana is livid.
We will find out here what the decision will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official decision of this bout, with time expired, it is ruled a draw.
That was a 30-minute time limit matchup, and neither Adonis or Santana leaves this ring unscathed. Neither one of them
Boy, Santana visibly upset by something. He is really on a referee. And when Santana gets heated up,
Good capacity crowd here, certainly enjoying the World Wrestling Federation matchup here. Nonetheless, it'll be Santana, still Intercontinental Champion. Let's go back, Gene, take a look at what we saw.
Well, let's take a look at this move here. It's Adonis on the top rope. Santana counters, shot to the midsection, and
That is big trouble.
it should be pointed out, by virtue of this 30-minute draw, Tito Santana still remains the Intercontinental Champion. However, look at this. Look at.
And down. My goodness. Tito Santana,
But
still Intercontinental Champion.
Unbelievable. An extraordinary matchup. During that matchup, Tito, there was commentary relating to perhaps neither you nor Adonis would ever be the same after that matchup because of what was taken out of both of you from a psychological standpoint, certainly from a physical standpoint. How do you feel about that now?
Well, Vince, now that I just got through listening to that, a lot of thoughts went through my mind because I was really hurt after that match. I went through a lot of physical punishment, so did he. And a lot of people didn't think that I make it back to my 100% capacity.
Did you think that?
No, I went through a lot of thoughts, and I had a lot of negative thoughts in my mind at the time. But Vince, I've recovered. I'm 100%. I'm up on top of the world again, and I'm ready to keep on defending that belt.
Well, no doubt you've got one fan, little Chris Beavers, back in Scranton, Pennsylvania, the young man who had lunch with Tito Santana. And we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, with perhaps commentary and no doubt a great deal more here on Tuesday Night Titans. We thank you very much. Oh, and no doubt the mailbag has just arrived, Lord Alfred Hayes. Yes, the mailbag, and perhaps you would be later on reading some choicey tidbits, all the way perhaps from England.
Well, if a postman delivered like that in England, I'd fire him immediately.
Almost like a body slam, and no doubt, as we saw, Tito Santana had plenty of those body slams on the receiving end, as well as the dishing out. Adrian, Adonis, Tito Santana, an extraordinary matchup. We thank you very much for being on our show.
Thank you very much.
Tito Santana, the reigning Intercontinental Champ. We'll be back with the mailbag. We always look forward to comments, questions, and what have you from literally all over the world on the World Wrestling Federation Network. Many of you, of course, are aware of the fact that indeed we enjoy reading your mail. Well, Lord Alfred Hayes, as we saw earlier on, had the mail delivered. Would you care to read some of the letters we've received this week?
Well,
Lordship.
I've just taken these. Here's one. San Francisco. Dear Vince, were you ever a wrestler? You seem to know so much about it. Please send me a photo of the Tonga Kid. Sharon O'Donnell, San Francisco.
Well, I appreciate Sharon's comments. Never a professional wrestler, not big enough, not bad enough.
I don't know.
Collegiate wrestler, a little bit, yes.
Here we have one to His Lordship, myself. Dear Alfred, last week I heard that the Queen of... I really don't think I ought to go into that on television.
There are a few, not too many, but there are a few, I'm sure, like that.
Yes, that is not really the thing we should read right here. In fact...
I think that's made you a little nervous,
throw that
hasn't it?
away.
All right.
Dear Tuesday Night Titans, I occasionally watch... This is from Chicago. I occasionally watch wrestling on another TV channel. After all, A person must read all political papers to be able to conclude whether they are Republican or a Democrat. That's fair enough. Here is my point. This other channel have wrestlers who wear colored grease makeup, something like rock stars, including the original wearers of this paint, the Kiss. Is there a rule against this? Personally, I find it intriguing. Will you clear up this point? Yours, Sue Russell.
Interesting question, interesting comments. There are a number of individuals in professional wrestling today that choose to wear a certain attire, a certain look, all for psychological reasons, I'm sure. In the World Wrestling Federation, I'm sure we'll be seeing individuals of that nature. There's no telling, indeed, what you will see in the World Wrestling Federation. And indeed, no telling what you will see on Tuesday Night Titans. With that in mind, we'd like to take you back. We'd like to take you way back. Back to the archives, a matchup with Arnold Skaaland, the Golden Boy. Many of you recall him as manager of Bob Backlund, meeting Joe Turco. To the videotape we go. Here, Joe Turco, by the way, is the one with the hair. And Arnold Skaaland, unfortunately for the Golden Boy, finding himself on his back. And he was not on his back that many times throughout his illustrious career, was he, Lord?
I think that would be rather a sweeping statement to make. I'm not all that conversant with Arnold Skaaland's career, but I would imagine that, like many, many wrestlers, he was on his back quite a bit. And Joe Turco, looking at this, I would say it was rather an embarrassment to him.
Yes, by the way, that was some smoke coming up from a smoker at ringside and not anything coming from the posterior section of Joe Turco that we saw just moments ago. Now, Joe Turco was no doubt a man of some mystery, both in and out of the squared circle. Lord, were you familiar at all with the career of Joe Turco?
Well, I must confess that all I know about him was he was a nasty Italian wrestler. He was very aggressive. I can understand the predicament that Arnold Skaaland is in. I found myself in somewhat similar predicaments throughout my career. But I don't know about your comments of the smoke. It left me bewildered.
Joe Turco with Arnold Skaaland going to work on him now, and Joe Turco has had, to this point, as much of an illustrious career as Arnold Skaaland. I think perhaps this match was a turning point in the career of both Skaaland and Turco, and much to the chagrin of Joe Turco, a turning point that, well, a little on the negative side, perhaps.
I don't think either of them were world champions. Skaaland did, for a time, show a lot of promise. That's obviously how he earned his nickname of the Golden Boy. But Turco, I don't know. I think wrestling has come a long way since those days, don't you?
Oh, no doubt of that. But how would you compare and contrast the skills of wrestlers of yesteryear with those of today, Lord?
Well, I tell you firstly, now look at these two men. This tape, or this film, is a long, long time ago. Look at the conditioning of those. Did you watch, well, everybody did, Tito Santana a little while ago? He was in just magnificent shape, fantastic condition. Look at all the top wrestlers today. Hulk, Hogan, these people, they dedicate themselves to the profession. I think in this day and age, it was very macho to be a beer swiller and a wench chaser. And I think that possibly both these were of that mold.
A beer, what was that?
Swiller.
And a...
common working man's brew, you know, beer. I hate the stuff.
Do you really? And what kind of chaser was that?
A wench chaser.
Nonetheless, they were tough. Both Arnold Skaaland and Joe Turco.
They had big hearts.
Big hearts, and indeed have proven themselves many, many times, and there are as many stories about both of these individuals as you might expect. Back in those days, the stories were perhaps bigger than the personalities themselves. Would you concur with that?
I'd have to. My goodness, look at that move by Skaaland. I didn't know he could do things like that. He was a Marine, was he not?
Yes, indeed he was.
I think he was decorated for bravery too, wasn't he?
Arnold Skaaland has been decorated a number of times, both in and out of his professional wrestling career. Arnold Skaaland, however, proved himself as a manager of World Wrestling Federation champion Bob Backlund, and a great one indeed. A fabulous manager, and perhaps I think that gives us some insight into the career of Arnold Skaaland, who...
Gosh, what on earth is that? Has somebody set the props on fire?
I think perhaps some of the smoke that we saw earlier on from the posterior section of Joe Turco on film has come into the studio.
Couldn't have smelled that bad. That is just awful. Golly.
Well, we thank you for coming with us down memory lane, so to speak, Arnold, Skaaland, Joe Turco, and we'll be back to investigate. That God awful smell this. All right, now, an unusual odor in the air. Lord Alfred Hayes, what an awful expression on your face. Clearly, the odor is not that bad.
That is the nastiest, pungent odor I have ever smelled. It's something like being struck by the bubonic plague.
Oh, my goodness. I think perhaps we need to investigate it. I'm sure it's not quite the bubonic plague.
Please, go ahead.
All right, let's go investigate. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us no less than the former three-time World Tag Team Wrestling Champions. Closest to me, of course, Afa, and next to Afa is Sika, and obviously we are about to experience some sort of, I hope everything is here, some sort of cooking. Gentlemen, what exactly are you preparing? What are you cooking? If you could hold up just for a moment, gentlemen, could you hold this up just for a moment? Could you? Oh, beautiful. What kind of fish is this? That's what kind of fish it is. Could we have Alfred Hayes? Alfred Hayes. Alfred, please come over and join us. Alfred, I don't want you to miss this. They're dissecting this fish. Please come over. Really. Now, I think, gentlemen, you put the wrong. Maybe you didn't. Gentlemen, you have the pot of Alfred.
What on earth is that? Oh.
All right, now obviously we can see that this is a rather unusual cooking experience, I'm sure, for almost all of us. Alfred, have you, Alfred?
Yes. Yes, I'm here. Strangely enough, I don't know why.
Have you ever seen a fish prepared ulakala? I don't recall the name of the fish.
What are those?
Well, if you say so. No, thank you very much. Sure. Alfred, obviously the Samoans offer a little problem.
Golly.
Little problem with
Are you sure these chaps know what they're doing?
I think they really do in their own way. I mean, you can tell by the way that Afa is really working on this fish.
Is that what it is? What are they going to do with
dash of this? What is this?
Saucy.
Saucy. All right. And is this tenderized the fish? Not quite. Does it quite? Now, what happens if you put too much of that on? I wonder. Alfred, would you like to taste?
Would I like to what?
Alfred, would you like to taste?
You must be jesting. Certainly not.
Well, you would not want to. You would not want to offend the Samoans, would you?
Oh, I don't want to offend them, but I mean, I don't have to eat that conglomeration there. Surely.
Why don't you? Excuse me, Afa. Why don't you gentlemen offer Alfred some of this?
Oh, no,
actually,
please.
it may taste a lot better than it looks.
I've eaten just a little while ago. I ate just before we came onto the program.
A little saucy. Yes. Now, this has got to make it good, Alfred, really. Okay. Alfred, please, yes.
Now, you wouldn't be offended if I said no, would you?
Alfred, I think it's a good idea to try a little of it. Alfred, Alfred, it looks all right.
Oh, that is the most disgusting.
Mikey likes it.
Who's Mikey?
A friend of Alpha and Seeker. Alfred, please, you must watch. Alpha is. Why don't you try it, Alfred? Please try it. Please try it, Alfred. With that, right. We'll be back with more delicacies from the Samoans. We'll be back with more delicacies. We are back, and perhaps we can all learn a little something if we just sit back and watch. Oh, I think they found something out Alfred, are you learning anything?
Yes, I'm learning how not to be involved in Samoan cooking.
Well, this is special Alpha Sika cooking. This is tag team championship cooking.
Oh, God. Is this what the missionaries went through?
What do you think, Julia?
Look at that poor lobster. Look at the cook.
I think we all have heard of the galloping gourmet, but is this carrying it a bit to the extreme?
Why did he put the tail and not the fish in? Could you ask him?
Pardon me, Alpha. The tail, the saucy, I'm sure. Yeah. Not too much, I'm
No, the fish was enough, thank you.
Actually, how was it? Huh? How was it? Sika, what do you think? No? Is it done yet? You probably have to. This is, it really smells.
Vince,
it smells a lot
I
better.
haven't seen you test anything yet. Why don't you just have a little sip of that?
I would be delighted to have a sip of that, Alfred. Unfortunately, I have a cold. If I pass it along.
Very good for colds.
If I pass it along.
Good for colds.
Thank you, Alfred.
It's Samoan consomme. Bad throats, sores on the lips, and colds.
I'm sure it would help the entire throat, nasal cavity, and what have you, all the way down, Alfred.
Look how healthy these fellows are.
Let's all then. Let's all enjoy the fruits of the Samoans' labor. When we return, we all will be enjoying this delicacy. Actually, it smells quite good.
You must be insane.
Would you care to join us for a little Samoan dining? Lord, you've had a little taste of it so far. Your initial reaction.
Oh, gosh. Well, I must say this. Some time ago, you invited me to take part in this program, and you said, Alfred, please be ready for anything. Now, I think really what I've done today has gone beyond the ranks of bravery, beyond the ranks of...
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sika.
Courage.
Sika? Alfred, all for you, I think.
Thank you
Alfred,
very much.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Go for a guy in there.
Thank you.
I don't seem to have a utensil, a spoon, perhaps a fork, maybe, or whatever. Alfred, do you have it? Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Alfred, are you going to eat yours with your fingers? Surely a good Englishman.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
I don't think. Wait just a minute. That's no fair, Alfred. I think you have the head. I think I'd prefer the head.
Well, I tell you, look at that eye in there. Would anybody in their right mind? And what on earth is that? Just what on earth is that?
For the benefit of those of you who would like to have this
That is
recipe,
atrocious.
perhaps Alfred could give us later on, if you would get the recipe from the Samoans, Afa and Sika, perhaps later on. I'm sure there are a lot of.
Well, I'll go for that. Malolava.
That's right.
Malo lava.
That's right.
Malo lava. Malo lava.
Super. Smells really good. You know, the aroma. It's a little different looking. You know, I mean.
Do you know what? This would give a cat rabies.
Beg your pardon?
That would give a large pussycat rabies. It is the most foulest.
The only thing that gets me is that they have the scales still on the thing.
Scales. Look at the eye here. I pointed out. Is that the eye of the tiger?
I'll tell you what. You talk about the eye of the tiger. You may not agree necessarily with the culinary delights of Afa and Sika, but you cannot in any way state that they are anything but perhaps the roughest tag team combination in existence today. Let's go back to the tag team title matchup against Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson.
All right. Fortunately, no fall here, but Rocky Johnson, we're back. Rocky Johnson is taking tremendous sums of punishment.
Look how vicious the Samoans are this week. Lou Albano putting a lot of pressures on the Samoan.
Atlas wanting to come in and help out Rocky, who's really having his problems over in the Samoan corner. You just can't spend any time over in the Samoan's corner.
Well, Atlas actually could go in there and help Rocky Johnson. There is no disqualification. But I think why he's not going in there, he doesn't want to be trapped. He's just hoping Rocky will recover.
To the rope now. The Rock takes a double shot and bends up and down in pain. One, two. Almost a count of three.
You can actually
Look at
hear.
Look at Sika.
You can actually hear Tony Atlas from the outside to come on, Rocky, get up.
Albano directing traffic in there. Boy, I mean, these fans are really with them. Rocky trying to heed the call. Rocky with an elbow, another one. To the rope, shoulder block, nicely done. Twisting. Downstairs goes Big Sika and Afa.
Those Samoans, they know what they're doing, Vince.
Double team on, they're just eating him up.
No disqualification. Oh, does Tony Atlas want to get in there? Look at him. Actually yelling at Rocky. Get up!
Look at Atlas yelling at Rocky Johnson.
He's begging him.
That's one of the things that makes this a great combination. Their willingness to help each other out. Albano trying to direct traffic. To the rope goes Rocky. Oh, nicely done.
Well, actually, Albano could just do about anything and get away with it. There was no disqualification. That's why I'm not certain about this match, Vince.
Well, there were some conjectures of whether or not the disqualification rule was waived only as relates to the title being changed. I'm not...
Well, Vince, Albano accepting that match with no disqualification, he must have something in his mind.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. No doubt of it. Rocky Johnson, a little more leverage now on that second rope. Off the rope, shoulder block, both men down. Albano looks like he's a little antsy now about the latest turn of events. One, oh, look at that, couldn't get him.
Rocky's got to get out of there. He's got to make that tag, but he won't last too much longer.
Wide open, Rocky Johnson. Cover again. Sika now. No.
I tell you, the Samoans are in control. I still feel that Lou Albano's got something up his sleeve. Accepting a match for the championship. No disqualifications.
Rod finding a backdoor and Tiger got Tony Atlas. Atlas in that cleaning house. Good punt. Cover, referee's knocked down. Cover, oh, come on. Oh, he should have had it right there. Albano getting into trouble. Attack.
The referee is out. I know it. I know it.
Oh, no. Albano in there, no. Oh, no. I can't believe it.
We've got new champions. We've got new champions.
New tag team champions of the World Wrestling Federation. Unbelievable. Pandemonium broken loose. Atlas and Johnson, new tag team champions. The chair still around the head of Alpha. Let's get the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the time. 8 minutes and 22 seconds. Here are the new World Wrestling Federation's Tag Team Champions, Tony Atlas, Rocky Johnson.
There we saw the Tag Team Championship change hands, ladies and gentlemen, in obviously a very unorthodox way. The match itself unorthodox in that it was a no-holds-barred Tag Team Championship matchup. The reigning Tag Team Champions, by the way, are not the combination that we saw victorious moments ago, that of Atlas and Johnson, but rather the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship combination now of Adrian Adonis and his partner Dick Murdoch. But you can't help wonder whether or not Alpha and Sika today would still not be Tag Team Champions had it not been for the interjection of an individual who crashed a solid oak chair into the head of Alpha, who perhaps should have suffered some sort of concussion. Our guest now, ladies and gentlemen, the individual who interjected himself in that very match, and perhaps the reason for the defeat of Alpha and Sika, coming into view now, Captain Louis Albano. Mr. Albano, the maker of some 14 Tag Team Championship combinations, and Alpha and Sika holding that distinction on no less than 3 occasions, Mr. Albano, but I wonder if, in fact, you feel that you have at least some responsibility in the loss of the Tag Team Championship that we saw just moments ago.
Well,
Well, let me ask you this. How do you feel about Afa and Sika now, as far as their tag team skills are concerned? Do you feel that they are the same level as they were when they were tag team champions?
Well, at this time, I feel that...
I wonder if Afa and Sika feel the same about you now as they did when they held the tag team championship.
At this time, I feel that...
When we return, then, I'd like for Lou Albano to answer the question, if he would. If he feels he's responsible for the demise of the tag team championship as it relates to Afa and Sika. We'll be back with that answer, hopefully. Afa and Sika, former tag team champions, former three-time tag team champions, managed by our guest, now Captain Louis Albano, have chosen to leave us momentarily, Mr. Albano. And I wonder if you would react to the question we asked earlier on. If, in fact, that you feel that you are either directly or in any way indirectly responsible for the tag team championship matchup, which we saw with Afa and Sika losing the title.
I personally don't feel I'm responsible in any way. They're three-time world champions. They're supposed to be so tough. 9 or 10 stitches. I mean, they were hit with an oak chair, yes, but they should have survived it. They should have come back and they should have won the match. They look at me for excuses, claiming that I opened up Afa's head with a chair and all. It was a mistake. It was a technical mistake, but so what? They're three-time champions. They should have been tough enough not to go out and be crybabies and complain. They should have survived it. Simple.
I
rest my case.
I don't think that in any way they are crybabies at all. And I don't think anyone is attempting whatsoever to have the Samoans indeed put in the light of a defensive posture at all, actually.
Well, look,
I just wonder...
I've got nothing against the Samoans. Believe me, I took them from nothing. They were savages in the trees, such as I did for Jimmy Snuka. Took the Samoans, made them what they are, three-time world champions. Now, I love the Samoans, nothing against them. But in my book, any men that weigh 300 pounds and come out here on TV land and try to tell the people, looking for sympathy, have the film replayed showing where I hit them with a chair. To me, I call them crybabies.
All right, Lord Alfred Hayes, in your experience in professional wrestling, do you feel Lou Albano was indeed at all a factor in the loss of the tag team titles?
In deference to Lou Albano, who sits here at the moment, I don't think he presented a plausible case at all. And when he talks about a technical mistake, it cost them the world championship. Now, how can such a mistake be excusable? You cannot do that.
Well, I don't know. Only from a standpoint, and I don't necessarily want to take your viewpoint, and if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Go right ahead.
But from a standpoint, remember this was a no-holds-barred matchup.
There you go.
And Lou, I'll say one thing, goes to the bottom of the depths, or to any length, to help himself and help his tag team champions. In this case, I feel that, Mr. Albano, you honestly thought that in your own mind, and I'm sure it was a spur-of-the-moment decision. I think that he actually thought that he was doing a great service to the Samoans.
Well, you know, at times you come through with a ray of light. You listen to the count here, of course. The man who took diction lessons from Rodney Easthaven comes out here, beep, 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 and all that short covered, beep, beep, tea time. He'll tell you a different story. Why didn't you get in the ring? I should have hit you with a chair. Come out here with your viewpoint. Why don't you put spats on? Count Hayes.
Fellow, I don't wear spats. I don't say pip, pip, pip. And if that's the way you have of excusing yourself...
Dress like I dress. Dress the way you're supposed to. Look at that.
You are just a person who has made a mistake, and now you cannot face up to the music.
I made a mistake hitting the Samoans. Okay, but if they were tough enough, if they were rough enough, they should have been able to withstand that mistake, and they should have overridden at any cost. They should still be champions.
All right,
but they're not. So therefore, there is a weakness in the Samoans. I still have great faith in the Samoans.
Well, let's take that. If we may, take that point and find out just how much faith you really do have in the Samoans. Is it not true that you have been, not that you necessarily have any less desire to manage the Samoans, but is it not true that you now have your eye on Adrian, Adonis, and Dick Murdoch, hoping to cajole them into signing a contract with you as their manager?
Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit out here and say it's not true, and I'm not going to say it is true. I've negotiated. I'm open to negotiate. As you know, I'm the maker of 14 tag team champions.
But in this case, surely you would not be the maker. I mean, Adonis and Murdoch did it all on their own.
Yes, they did, but perhaps with a little guidance before they won the belts, or with a little tutelage from Captain Lou Albano, we may have had private meetings that you don't know about. I mean, you're not versed in everything in wrestling. You're an announcer, you're a Mr. TV man, you're Mr. Vince McMahon, but you don't know of my personal meetings. You don't know of the South Side of San Francisco. You don't know what I'm capable of doing.
I think we really do know what you're capable of doing, Mr. Albano, and
Possibly.
to that end, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take you back indeed to footage. Lou Albano, as we stated before, has been the maker of 14 different or 14 tag team championship combinations, not necessarily different ones. We'll take you now to Lou Albano in action with some of his tag team championship combinations.
There's that goofy Albano out there. Boy, talk about a cheap shot. That's all Albano knows.
And you said it. That's all he knows.
Again, tag made, and Rivera has really taken some punishment in this match.
Fuji barefooted.
I believe seriously in all my power that the Moondogs would be something for the children of America to look up to. Something for the people of America to praise. Something for the people to love. Something that the people should look up to as champions. I want them to be champions.
Alpha, Sika. Oh my, talk about mean.
They've got to be the toughest tag team champions I've ever seen.
Lou Albano, earlier on, he was walking up a little step there in his own right. It lasted for all of about 20 seconds, if that. Albano earlier on, of course, was looking over at the World Wrestling Federation champion, Bob Backlund.
Introducing the manager of the World Tag Champions. Here he is, Captain Louis Albano. And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, from parts unknown, the combined total weight, 580 pounds, the Executioners.
Well, the Executioners certainly not getting a round of ovation here at all. The Executioners are tag team champions of the world, and we're set for the action.
And one more. This is right here, girls just want to have fun. Peg principle, politeness, etiquette, and grooming. Tell me something. Do you think that you could bring Cyndi Lauper on my pit? Why not, Ronnie?
There's a little look into the career of Lou Albano thus far. No doubt an illustrious career to a certain extent, Mr. Albano, and I think that, again, to a certain extent, you should be quite proud of yourself.
Oh, I am.
For your accomplishments. You are indeed, are you not?
Yes, I am indeed proud. The maker of 14 tag team champions. As you know, I've had the Mongols, I've had Tarzan Tyler and Luke Graham, I've had Secludum and King Curtis, I've had the Executioners, I've had the Valiant Brothers twice, I've had the Lumberjacks, I've had the Moondogs, as I said, I've had Mulligan and Lanza, I've had the Valiant Brothers we mentioned, and then I've had my Samoans 3-time champions. And perhaps now I may go for the 15th time. I may once again be managing some other world champions. That's all I'll disclose at this time.
Mr. Albano, your career seems to be taking somewhat of a twist as of late, in that currently you are not managing a tag team championship combination. That in and of itself, I would suspect, seems a little strange to somebody like yourself, does it not?
Well, perhaps I'm not managing a tag team champion, but perhaps I have negotiated in previous encounters with the tag team champions. I will not say I did, and advise them. As you know, I film all my matches in entirety, and I'm able to point out weaknesses. I watched Atlas, and I watched, Rocky Johnson, and perhaps I was able to point out weaknesses to the current champions. I will not say I did, but I believe with my camera filming in entirety and knowing tag team matches and how vital continuity, that word I so often use, can be, how vital continuity, teamwork can be, and a tag team effort. I believe that perhaps I've got something to do with the current champions. Take it or leave it.
You're a very busy man, aren't you,
Oh,
Mr.
I'm
Albano?
a very busy man. Not only in the field of professional wrestling, but in rock and roll. As you know, I'm the maker of rock and roll champions, NRBQ, and my present find. Girls want to have fun. She's so unusual.
She is
Cindy Lauper, one of a kind. She's got a fellow with her, David Wolf or David Dog, that goes around posing as her manager. But I took Cindy Lauper. Cindy Lauper. I took the woman out of the slums of New York, Queens, the worst part of Queens, the downer section, and made her what she is today, a superstar. Girls want to have fun, time after time. She's so unusual. She's written for many, many, many a famous artist. She's well-versed in music, a great performer, a great entertainer. But remember, I, Captain Lou Albano, made this woman. And I stress the fact woman, because what woman on her own has ever made it? Let's be honest, you know.
It's perplexing to me as to how you have enough time to devote to all of these projects. And I wonder if, in fact, you really don't. I mean, I wonder if, in fact, devoting as much time as you have to rock and roll, as you say, to the career of Cyndi Lauper, who perhaps you've had something to do with her success. I'm not too sure that many would agree with that. But nonetheless, do you feel that devoting all of the time that you have to a different field altogether has caused you to be somewhat ineffective as far as you're managing? Maybe that had something to do with the Samoans' demise. What do you think?
Well, let me tell you this. First of all, I do not devote all my time to rock and roll because my mainstay and my basic is a knowledge of professional wrestling. I've known tag teams. I've been a part of a tag team championship some years ago, and I devoted my life to studying what makes a tag team championship combined effort. It's quick tags, it's filming, it's looking for weaknesses. I know this combination. As far as my Samoans go, they claim that I was the cause of them losing the belts. They are three-time world champions.
Please not get into that again.
Well, they should have retained the belts at any cost.
Fine, you've made your point. May I ask you, Mr. Albano, what similarities there are in managing tag team champions as compared and contrasted to managing an individual such as Cyndi Lauper?
Cyndi Lauper is an individual, such as professional wrestlers. She is a superstar in her own right.
She listens to your guidance?
Ability. She listens to my guidance as a tutor. I have my friend, Dr. Rodney Popufnik, from the lower part of L.A. that has advised me on handling such superstars as Cyndi Lauper. She's a bit schizophrenic.
She's a what?
Bit schizophrenic tendencies, but he said, Captain, you can handle her. Stop laughing. I'm talking Count or Duke, whatever they call you. But on my own, in other words, such as I've done with my wrestlers, I can sit back. I've got a very high IQ, 157, and I can sit back and relate my mental strategies by sitting, by talking, by stressing. In the medulla of my brain lies the brain of a genius. In the medulla oblongata, I've been known by psychiatrists who have psychoanalyzed me, said, Captain, you've got it all together. Said, Captain Lou, you can do it all. You can make champions in wrestling or in rock and roll because I'm able to converse. You got that word, converse?
Communication, obviously.
Communication.
All right, Mr. Albano, there's no doubt you obviously have tremendous communicative skills, otherwise you would not be in the position that you are today. You have taken the position that you are and become, in that position, extremely affluent, Mr. Albano.
Thank you.
Have you not?
Yes, affluent, yes, I have.
If you would please divulge to us how much money, indeed, you have taken, or how much money you take from the Samoans and/or from Cyndi Lauper in terms of percentages.
Cyndi Lauper, I've taken, she claims 75. I should have taken 150%. In other words, she should have paid me just to associate with me because I made her. And the Samoans, they live well. They bought
Mr.
cars,
Albano,
1972
we'd like to thank you very much for joining us on Tuesday Night Titans. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, with a special video. Thank you, Mr. Albano. Well, the captain has vacated the premises, but no doubt Lou Albano always makes his presence felt, be it in the ring, out of the ring, in the world of pro wrestling, out of the world of pro wrestling in terms of the world of music, or in the world of controversy in general. With that in mind, in a moment now, we're going to take you back in, an unusual setting. On the panel, a special guest panel at an open forum, a discussion, Lou Albano answering a question of someone I'm sure who did not want to ask.
Mr. Albano, please.
All right.
Would you like to stand, please, and ask a question?
That man has a piece of fruit. I saw it. Give me the
You had a
apple.
piece of fruit earlier.
Give me the apple.
You're not gonna
Give
throw
me
it,
the
right?
apple.
No, I'm not gonna. All right,
Give
good.
me the apple.
If I do, I throw it. I do.
I'll give
What the guy talking like that for? I never bothered the guy.
Looks like he had a bushel of them just before he arrived.
If you behave yourself, I'll have you shine my shoes after the show. I'll let the guy shine my shoes after the show.
You just lick my shoes.
I got you shine these shoes right here.
Hey, sit down with your sister over there.
One inch on being a midget.
Anybody want to go? Mr. Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, get some
Yeah, well, that's what you think.
Wait a minute. Would you please? Is that nice?
Where'd the guy get his bitch work done? Look at Peter Rabbit. Oh, yeah.
That was.
We have your questions.
Yes,
Thanks.
we may, please.
He forgot what he's going to say. That's a great question, you idiot.
Why every time you have a match wrestling, shut up! Shut up and let me speak.
That's right. Now let the man.
Like a Billy goes, shut up and let me speak. Hey, look, why every time you have a Why every time you have a match in wrestling, you run from the ring? You don't like to tie your other partner. You're chicken. You're chicken.
Because of that bottle of gin you drank tonight.
Don't worry about no gin. You look just like the two groundhogs my daddy used to raise.
Sergeant Leader, you get that ready?
This is a hostile bunch. Young lady, please stand.
Fred Blassie, you put the USA down and you brag about Iran, but here's where you're making all your money.
Yeah.
Honey, I make my money any place I go. I can buy and sell a dozen like you and that idiot that was speaking right before you, too.
And another thing, why did she get her hair bleached right? Look, she got two-tone hair. Why'd you get your hair done? Look at Freddie Blassie's hair. Got some class. You got all them black roots in there. Get your hair fixed up.
Can I hit him?
Got all them black roots in
Tell her,
there.
Cap. That's right. Tell her, Cap.
Look at Freddie Blassie, got class. Look at Roddy Piper, class.
Excuse me, Shelley.
Is there anything you can do here? I mean, I depend upon an audience every month, and these people are not going to.
Well, a bit of controversy as always with Louis Albano. Moments from now, we're going to take you, ladies and gentlemen, to a matchup involving, without a doubt, I would suggest the most extraordinary athlete of all time. Would you concur with that in Andre the Giant?
I would have to. Here is a man who's been denied world championship shots for some time, but should he get that one opportunity, I just can't see how he can be denied any longer.
All right, let's go now to footage with the one and the only Andre the Giant.
Andre will have to watch from all angles as these three men come right at him. Here they come. About down to 300-pounder. Gives him a shot on the keister. And Jack Evans doesn't know what to think of all this.
Very, very impressive. Very impressive, Andre the Giant. I would suggest, however, our next guest, or the individual whom we'll be following moments from now, in some regards equally impressive, maybe in other regards more. Hulk Hogan, the World Wrestling Federation champion.
I've never seen a world champion fired up so much as Hulk Hogan. It's not only that he's 6'7" or 6'8" and weighs over 300 pounds, but he is absolutely mentally fired.
All right, let's go to the fired up Hulk Hogan, joining a match in progress.
They have them on their feet. Elbow by the hook, a right hand, rock super, another one. But this gives an opportunity for Hulk Hogan to get everything back that he had at the another right hand. Oh no, hurt his hand. You wonder if the masked superstar put something up in the mask, Gene.
Well, there's a good possibility he was able to insert a foreign object. Oh, there's got to be something in there.
belt, Hulk Hogan continues his reign as World Wrestling Federation champion. Hogan, many assets indeed enjoyed by this man. Many assets, however, enjoyed by our next guest we'll take a look at, the Superfly.
Oh, an unusual athlete. A man who's absolutely dedicated himself and yet factually is a quiet person. Once he steps in the ring, anything can erupt. Absolutely anything.
He is indeed quite explosive. Let's take a look at the Superfly, Jimmy Snuka.
Absolutely
Big
incredible.
slam by the Superfly. Look out. Inside on that second rope. Headbutt.
If Valentine could get back on it, look at that body convulsing.
Jimmy on the outside now, going all the way up to the top. Look out, Valentine's on his feet. No, he rolled out of the way. Very clever maneuver on the part of the Hammer. Rolled right outside the ring. Jimmy right out after.
Now outside of the ring, Snuka, Valentine exchanging rights. Oh, that one right to the head. And another one. Left up. Oh,
he crotched him on that.
Oh, my God.
He crotched him on that barricade, Gene. Referee's been counting both men out there.
There is only one Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. Incredible, isn't he? Diametrically opposed to Jimmy Snuka, we have the Sheik. Now, what can be said about the Sheik can be written into a large volume. He has now become volatile in English as well as Arabic.
He's always volatile, no doubt of that. In and out of the squared circle. Let's take you now to footage of the former World Wrestling Federation champion, the Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik thus far manhandling both of these men, and the bet that it's not likely to continue.
Well, not at this rate. Anyway, Vince, the Iron Sheik coming up with a couple. He's now trying to get Mikhailo into a suplex, and he does so successfully, bringing him around the side this time.
And Mikhailo now dumps on Lee Wong. What's he doing?
Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe this.
Applying the camel clutch on top of Lee Wong. Look at the face on that man, former World Wrestling Federation champion.
Perhaps one of the most sadistic men in professional wrestling today. The Iron Sheik.
There's somewhat of a review on 4 of the outstanding principals in the World Wrestling Federation, but we can only lightly touch upon many of the individuals that, well, remained in abeyance at the moment. There are so many extraordinary athletes in the World Wrestling Federation today, and hopefully in weeks to come we will be reviewing any number of them, Lord.
A most exciting time. I think this is, in fact, the most exciting time in wrestling. We would like to speak about John Studd. We would like to speak about so many.
We'll be back with a word about what we will speak about next week. We would like to thank you all for joining us for our premiere of Tuesday Night Titans, and we promise you in the weeks to come you will be having more of an insight into this unusual treatment of the World Wrestling Federation. Indeed, we'll take you into matches never before seen, personalities certainly from a different light, as we saw this week with Dr.D, David Schultz, Lord Alfred Hayes, a post-comment on that individual, if you may.
Well, that individual, I'd rather not mention that because that would only make me angry. Because I've had such a wonderful time. 2 hours has flown just like this. I've seen things I didn't see before, never thought I would see, and look at the company we're in.
Yes, indeed. And in 2 weeks' time, that'll be Tuesday night, June 12, we'll return with another edition of Tuesday Night Titans, and we'd like to thank the reigning Intercontinental Champion, Tito Santana, and we certainly would like to thank as well, Alpha, Sika, gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on Tuesday Night Titans. And thank you very much for Captain Louis Albano.